Hello, it's Chuck. We're going to talk today about listening. We have discussed this, we have written about it, but this is such a big subject, and I really believe that it kind of goes in one ear and out the other. That when we taught or we teach how to be a better listener, we're not listening. Because we need to drill down and say, what points am I working on today? One of my favorite things to say is that every day that we go in to something, we should come out 1% better. What are we working on? I know with me that if I go into the gym, I always tell people as an instructor that you want to leave here today 1% better than you came in. And if every day we did that, we're just going to continually get improvement. So how are you doing working on your listening skills? God gave you 2 ears, gave you 1 mouth. It's been said so you can hear twice as much as you have to say. Makes sense, right? At least the math works out. But there's some basic tools in listening that you have to work on. And I'm going to give you a 4 or 5 today. And I want you to say, I'm going to work on this for the next 7 days. I'm going to get consciously better at this over the next 7 days. Number 1, do you allow the speaker to finish or do you interrupt? We're all guilty of this. We're all in a hurry. Sometimes we feel like what the person's saying is not significant enough for you to listen, so you can't wait to hear you talk. That's kind of rude, but we do it, right? Or you already know the answer and you just don't want to wait till they're finished and you give them the answer because you got things to do. And it seems appropriate all the time that you justify that you cut people off. But people really want to be heard. And one of the arts, the first point is that don't interrupt. Let people finish. Just work on that for the next 7 days. Just let people finish and see how it goes. 2 is that do you read between the lines to get the subcontext, to understand what they're saying and what they're not saying, to get the full meaning of the conversation? Are you good? We talked your emotional IQ. Do you understand what's really going on here? 3, how do you confirm that you understand? Ask a question. Say, Mary, what I hear you saying is, or Tom, what I think you're saying to me is, do I got that right? Am I saying the same thing? Do I fully understand you? Now people feel validated and you're confirming that you're listening and you really do understand. And there are so many subtle signs that go on that between communication that we're building relationship, respect, trust, all because we listen. And guess what? Just the opposite happens when we don't. People want to know that you really are listening. Are you picking up on key phrases and facts that they're saying, that you can repeat them back if you had to tell a story an hour later? You got to pick up because each one of those are emotional points to them that are important to their story. Maybe not to you, but to their story. And number 5 today is really don't get agitated or irritated in the middle of conversation. Because what it really does is it shuts conversation down. Now, every one of these points, I know I've been guilty of. There are times that I think I'm a tremendous listener. And people actually say, are you listening? Because I'm listening so close. But I need to confirm or acknowledge what I'm hearing. And I realize that would make things better. That I actually get frustrated, as if you think I'm not listening when all I'm doing is listening. And I realized when I look back at it, I just didn't confirm what I heard. And it would have made the conversation much better. You have your own flaws, your own weaknesses, but as you're developing as a leader, one of your tools in communication, as you have influence and people are following you, people who get followed the most are clearly people who are good listeners. That also makes them good problem solvers because they really do hear and they really can put themselves in a position that people want to talk to them or talk to you. But if you're always cutting people off, you always have the answers, you're really just not listening, you're easily agitated, you don't get the point, clearly people won't want to talk to you. You understand that, right? So we're just developing this. Imagine you got a tool belt around your waistline, and the carpenter has his hammer, and he has his angle, he has his pencil, his screwdriver, all the tools, some nails, all the things that he needs. What is your tool belt starting to fill up with? What are you really working on? And if you're still not working on things, you got a long way to go. Your goal every day when you wake up should be to be better at the end of the day with the things that you learned and the things that you practiced to get better. If you're not in that mode, you still don't get it. You have to understand, are you listening to what I'm saying? And you can acknowledge that later today in some way. Thank you. Until the next time, this is Chuck. Have an awesome day. Thank you. Bye-bye.